This is the story of a rich man's spoiled son. To reform him, his dad crossed all limits. Let's see what all a father has done to reform his son. As the film begins, a boy named Grisha, the spoiled son of a Russia's richest man, comes to a club. There, Grisha's eyes fall on a girl who is also very beautiful. Grisha, as usual, tries to impress the girl with his money. Grisha gradually traps the girl in his words, after which both of them go in Grisha's car. Sitting in the car, the girl starts to put on the seat belt. Then Grisha says, "What are you doing? Come on, hurry up and take off your clothes." The girl is shocked. She is unable to understand Grisha's words. The girl says to Grisha, "What do you mean? Why should I do this? I am not going to do anything like that. Understand?" Grisha says, "Okay, get out of my car." After that, Grisha also leaves from there. Grisha was driving very fast on the road while talking on the phone when a policeman stopped him. Grisha does not say anything to the policeman. As per his habit, tries to bribe the policeman and throws a bundle of notes on his face, but the policeman does not take the bribe. He tries to arrest Grisha for his mistake and stands in front of his car. Grisha gets even more angry, then runs his car over the policeman. The news of this incident reaches Grisha's dad Gustavo, and Gustavo immediately reaches the police station. The policeman tells Gustavo Grisha has tried to bribe a policeman and has also hurt him. Now your son is crossing the limits. Gustavo, you have to do something now. Gustavo was fed up with his son's actions. He knew Grisha was going on the wrong path. But Gustavo is helpless because Grisha is his only son and he loves him. Gustavo goes near the lockup and sees Grisha lying down and chilling. Grisha looks at his dad and says, "Dad, send me alcohol and a girl to dance. I am getting very bored here." Then Gustavo gets his son released from the police station, brings him out and scolds Grisha. But Grisha is not affected by his dad's words. Grisha knows that my dad can't do anything to me. On the other side, a dance show is being held whose director is Nastya, and she is also Gustavo's friend. Gustavo goes to Nastya in his worry and asks for help. Gustavo says to Nastya, "Nastya, I am very upset. Please help me." Nastya agrees to help Gustavo. Then Gustavo and Nastya together go to John, who is a famous horror film director. Gustavo tells John about Grisha and says that he has to reform her at any cost. John says that it is okay, I will help you with this. Then all three together makes a plan. That very night, a junk dealer starts taking away Grisha's luxury car. Grisha starts running after that car as soon as he sees it. But then suddenly an anesthesia injection comes and hits Grisha's neck and he falls unconscious. The next day, Grisha opens his eyes and finds himself in a strange place. Then a man named Artem Ram wakes him up and says that the owner had asked you to prepare the horse. Have you prepared the horse? Then Grisha is surprised to see his surrounding and his clothes. He thinks that maybe I drank too much last night and starts looking for his phone. But he can't find it anywhere and says to the man, "I need to make a call. Can you give me your phone?" Just then another man comes into the room and throws Grisha out while abusing him. Grisha angrily threatens the man, saying, "Stay within your limits or else you will have to regret it. Understood?" But the man does not pay attention to his words and says to Grisha, "Yesterday I asked you to prepare a horse. Where is it?" Grisha says, "When did you say all this to me? Moreover, I have seen you for the first time today. I don't even know you." Just then the owner of the village comes there and orders his son Max to punish Grisha. Max whips Grisha and the owner tells him, "I want my horse ready before I finished my tea." Then Billy comes and takes Grisha to the horse. Grisha says to Billy, "Let me make a phone call and after this, if I don't send all of them to jail, then my name is not Grisha." Billy says to Grisha, "What are you saying? I am not able to understand anything you are saying." Grisha panics and starts running away from there and goes outside and asks people to call the police. But the people of the village don't know what the police were. Then Billy gives clothes to Grisha to wear and Grisha asks, "Where are my clothes and how are these people living here? And the people here don't even have a mobile phone." It is the 21st century and no one has a phone? What is this? Billy tells him, no, this is the year 1860. Then in a short while, Grisha is caught and taken to be hanged along with the other prisoners. Grisha does not understand what is happening. But as the noose starts getting stuck in Grisha's neck, Grisha realizes that this is not a dream. Then Natasha, who is the daughter of the village owner and Max's sister, arrives. Natasha tells her father that, father, don't do all this on this day. I don't want anyone to die on this day. The owner listens to Natasha and stops the hanging, after which Willie falls at Natasha's feet and thanks her. But Grisha just keeps staring at Natasha and doesn't say anything. Then a hawk is seen flying in the sky, but it is not an eagle, it is a drone camera which is keeping an eye on the whole village. The thing is that Grisha never went to the past. All this was a drama. Rather, all this was done by Gustavo to teach him a lesson, which was part of the plan. He had got a set prepared in the village, and all the people living in the village were actors. Whatever they were saying or doing, it was all scripted. Cameras and microphones were installed in the entire village so that they could see all the words and actions of Grisha. Then Grisha says to Billy, I think the car I collided with was not ordinary, but it was a time machine. If I have to go back, then I will have to collide with the same time machine again. Do you have a car? Billy does not say anything because all this was not in the script. Now Grisha was bored of living in this village. He could not sleep at night because Grisha had to sleep on grass like animals. Grisha was given only khichdi to eat and there were wounds on the body due to the whipping. On the other hand, Gustavo comes to John and says, I want to see the changes in Grisha. The next day, Grisha is seen in the fields. He rests and then he hears a girl crying. Grisha goes back and sees that it is Natasha, the daughter of the village owner. Grisha goes to Natasha and asks, what happened? Natasha says, my dad has arranged my marriage with a rich old man. Grisha jokingly says, don't worry. In a few days, that old man will die and all his wealth will be yours. On the same day, Grisha steals a chicken from the farm of the village owner. It had been a long time since Grisha had eaten chicken. Billy, who is an actor, comes to Grisha and tells Grisha, give me some chicken too. Grisha says, I have already eaten the whole chicken alone. After a while, some people are called to question them about the chicken theft from the farm. The village owner tells everyone until the real thief is found. Till then, one or the other of you people will be flogged. Grisha was watching all this, but Grisha had no mercy for anyone. Then Billy shows Grisha the fake wounds on his back which were made by a makeup artist. At the same time, a girl named Mary comes there. As Mary gets down from her horse, Grisha sees her shiny panty. Grisha, seeing Mary's panties, comes to her and asks, where did you get these panties? Such panties are worn in our times. Grisha tries to take off Mary's panties, due to which Mary gets scared and runs away from there. Gustavo gets angry with his son's antics and gets angry at John and says, I have spent so much money on this drama, but it is not having any effect on Grisha. We should stop all this. Then John assures Gustavo to give me a few more days. After that, Grisha will change. Grisha goes to Mary's house to meet her, but Mary tells him not to go near her, else she will break his head. Grisha tells Mary to forgive me. I should not have behaved like this with you. All the people sitting in the studio are very happy to see all this because they feel that Grisha is changing now. After a few days, Natasha was going to get married to that old man. There is an atmosphere of happiness in the whole village and people are dancing and singing, but Natasha is not happy with this marriage. Natasha comes to Grisha and says that I don't want to marry that old man. I am going to jump into the river and give up my life. Natasha goes to the bank of the river and stands there to die. But Grisha doesn't care about her at all. Grisha starts talking to Mary. Grisha tells Mary about the 21st century. People of the 21st century talk on mobile phones and fly in the sky in aeroplanes. Then Billy comes to him and asks Grisha, have you seen Natasha? Actually, Billy comes to remind Grisha that Natasha is going to die in the river Grisha runs to save Natasha. Natasha is told that Grisha is coming towards you. Natasha pretends to be drowning. Then Grisha comes and saves Natasha and takes Natasha to his house. Natasha tries to be romantic with Grisha, but Grisha doesn't pay attention to Natasha because Grisha has started liking Mary now. Grisha changes his bad clothes and goes to Mary's house to meet her. The team tells Mary that Grisha is coming towards you. Get ready quickly. Mary quickly comes out wearing bleached clothes and Grisha asks Mary, Mary, do you want to go for a walk with me? Mary tries to convince Grisha that my dad is unwell and I have to take care of him. I can't go with you. And here we see Grisha started loving Mary. Then John calls Mary and says that Grisha has started liking you. So now you have to pretend to be Grisha's girlfriend. Max doesn't like all this at all because in real life, Mary and Max were girlfriend boyfriends. Max tells Mary, I don't want any other man to come close to my girlfriend. Mary tells Max, I want to bring a change in Grisha because it is for him that we are doing all this drama. Now Mary and Grisha start spending time together. Both roam around and enjoy a lot together, and due to this, both start getting attracted towards each other. On the other hand, Max was drinking tea with Natasha. Max was very angry because Max had not been intimate with anyone for a long time. Max and Natasha go to the stable to vent their anger. Meanwhile, Grisha and Mary were also passing by. Just then some sounds come from the stable. Then Mary says, what is happening here? Both of them look inside. Max and Natasha are getting intimate with each other. Mary gets angry seeing all this and leaves from there. After a while, Max and Natasha are called out of the set. John scolds them and says, you both are brother and sister on the set. You both have no problem. Then John throws them out of the set. The same night, Mary and Grisha talk to each other. Then Mary starts kissing Grisha. Meanwhile, Natasha leaves from there in anger and goes to a news channel and tells Grisha has been kidnapped and he is being tortured. Now, the son of the richest man in the country gets kidnapped. So hearing this news, the police immediately start searching. At the same time, Gustavo also gets upset seeing all this. Gustavo says to John, now we should stop all this. Then John tells Gustavo, don't worry, it will take 2 to 3 days for the police to reach here. Until then, I will think of the ending of this story. The next day, Mongols who are robbers come to the village. The Mongol leader wanted 2 beautiful girls for marriage. During the time, the Mongols kidnap one of the girls and her father comes forward to save her. Then a fight starts between a robber and the girl's father. The robber cuts the neck of the girl's father, obviously which is a fake neck. Then the leader starts looking at another girl. Then his eyes falls on Mary and he snatches Mary from Grisha and starts taking her away. Everyone starts looking at Grisha. What will Grisha do to save Mary? But Grisha runs away from there in fear. Then Mary is asked to call Grisha loudly. But Grisha doesn't listen to Mary and goes away from there. Then everyone on the set gets worried. What will we do now? We had never thought that Grisha would run away. Grisha goes to the same horse which he used to take care of. Grisha takes the horse out and comes back to Mongolia. On the other side, people quickly get ready. Then Grisha kills 2 Mongolians and runs away from there with Mary. Meanwhile, the police reach that village to search for Grisha. But Grisha is not found there. The police ask the people there, what is happening here? Then John says, the shooting of the movie is going on here, which is not a crime, so the police have to go from there. On the other side, Grisha and Mary run and reach a petrol pump, seeing which Grisha is surprised. Where did petrol come from? In the year 1860, then a man from behind fires an injection of anesthesia at him and Grisha faints. After some time, Grisha regains consciousness. Then Grisha's dad Gustavo tells him, you had an accident and you were in a coma for the last 3 months. Now a lot of changes have come to Grisha. When Grisha goes to the club, nothing seems the same to Grisha. Grisha starts finding everything boring and useless. Grisha has no interest in anyone. Then Grisha goes to the policeman with whom Grisha had caused an accident and Grisha gives him the keys to his expensive car as an apology. Then on the same night, when Grisha was sitting in the club, then Natasha and Max come there and both of them tell him everything. Neither were you kidnapped in time travel, nor did you have any accident. All that was done by your dad to reform you. After this, both of them take Grisha to meet Mary. Then Grisha tells Mary, I love you. Mary tells Grisha, I also miss you a lot. Then both of them kiss each other. On the other side, Gustavo was getting married to Nastia. Grisha also comes there and congratulates him on his marriage. Grisha also thanks Gustavo. It is because him that Grisha has become a good and responsible man. This is where the story ends. So friends, how did you like the story? Do tell us in the comments, and for such movie explanations, subscribe to our channel Movie Recap English. See you in the next movie.